Welcome to another episode of Chain Wagon Cult. So far, this is episode 3, and it's myself today, Adewumi Oshokoya, and Favor Blessing. Um, Thanks, guys. So far, we want to use this medium to actually say thank you for the feedbacks
Thank you.
that we've gotten so far. And we want you guys to know that we are listening to you. Thank you. Today, as we mentioned in the last episode, that we are going to be talking about the love languages. Basically, I understand. Generally, there are 5 love languages. Yeah. So, and I've made a plan today to shock Favor that there are 7 love languages.
I'm looking forward to it.
There are 7 love languages. Well, there is the general 5 that is being mentioned, that everybody knows, and there is 7 that's
You invented, right?
not that I invented. I actually read it somewhere, some part of some of the few studies I did sometimes ago. And I was trying over the week, even this night, not even over the week, I think it was last week, then again this night to look at them again. And it's one of the reasons why I have my phone here, just so I can run through it. Because what I see is the 7 list of love languages kind of simplify the initial 5. It's kind of break it down, but I know we are going to dive into it. But first, we are going to hear from Favor what the 5 love languages are. Then we take it from there, right?
Okay. I was expecting you to start it off like what the 5 I know firstly is complimenting yourselves, respecting each other, physical touch. I just hope you're not going to omit this one tonight because I brought it up last week and you made mention that the pastors are watching. And this is not a church gathering where the GO is watching us. So I feel we have to be real with this physical touch. Like I've been emphasizing on it. We are not going to omit it. And thank God you're a man, so you give us better instances and examples about it. And I've mentioned loving yourself, right? Okay, yeah, this is the fourth one, loving yourselves. I think the fifth one is words of affirmation. Anyway, I think these are the 5 I know. Maybe you add it too, so I can learn from it. Thank you.
No, uh, goodly, not sadly. I'm not going to let Favor push everything to me this night because, guys, we just have to do this clip. I'm sure Favor's got a very, I won't say terrible day, but for me, I know I've had a terrible day. But we just have to prepare this episode, guys. We just have to do it. We started already. We can't bail out now. We just can't.
Not at
Yeah.
all.
So, well, the general 5, which is the word of affirmation, physical touch. Then uh, you have word of affirmation, guys. I think I'm forgetting.
You don't have
So
to.
yeah, I'm forgetting. So we have act of service, receiving gifts, quality time. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. The quality
Okay,
time
yeah.
and the physical touch, which people have specifically targeted me tonight today.
Exactly.
That I must talk about that one.
Exactly.
But still, don't worry, my pastor will not send me away from church, and I have every right to talk about it,
Definitely.
anyways. Yeah, I have every right to talk about it. So because I remember those times that we were still single. Like still ardent single, Then we have this one of our mentors. Then we say, what I will do. I mean, mentor in church now.
Yeah.
We say, what I'm going to do, and say, thank you, Jesus. If you do it, you are going to say, forgive me, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. so,
It's clearer now. Ah, goodness.
so, so don't mind me when you see me trying to, you know, try to be halfway, but don't worry because I think someone during the course of the week actually challenged me bluntly on it. Like, is the podcast for
Like it's too
church or
spiritual.
is it
Seriously.
social stuff? I said, well, for me, I just have this strong feeling or believe like, okay, fine, it might not be a church, but we still cannot remove the fact that we are religious. But don't worry, guys, we are going to do some justice today. And of course, I understand the argument that it's even in church that we are supposed to talk the blunt out truth about stuff
Mm-hmm.
like this so people can know. So we are going to try and take it one after the other. That's from the general five. And so I would say we start from act of service.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, act of service basically is just a situation whereby you provide some support for to your partner. Um, well, basically physical support, things that your partner can see, visible things like okay, maybe for example, you you guys go on a date, then you see her off
Mm-hmm.
to our own place, which is still a little bit related to affection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But these are still visible things that your partner will see you doing. Or maybe your partner needs you to run some errand, you do it for them, you become the plumber, you become the electrician, you become the cleaner. These are acts of service,
Yeah, definitely.
basically things that usually you might not do for anyone or you don't even find them comfortable doing. But for the sake of love,
Oh, yeah.
you find yourself doing them. You find yourself carrying out some task. They might be basic in nature, it doesn't matter, but you still do them. And these some people tend to find it, they find it romantic when you do stuff for them. Because I'm aware some ladies never had any guy do anything for them, not even carry their bag. No.
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's
No,
possible.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Why not? For me, for the fact like we are going out, does that mean like we are going on the street now? I'm going to collect your bag.
But you have to be romantic. You have to be romantic to an extent.
That's why we say it's an act of service because it's not something I we usually do. It's not some I can't see a random lady on the street now and collect the bag. So if I collect the bag from my partner, my lover, that's an act of service. Because usually, normally, I'm not going to do it. It's never going to happen. And it's not a must for me to do at the
It's
same
not a
time.
must. It's not a
Right.
must. But if she's carrying like two bags, I think it's mandatory you carry one for her.
I don't care if she carries 6 bags.
Yeah. That means you're not a gentleman then.
Don't make us today to go outside topic. We are leaving home, right?
Okay.
You see me trying to leave home light, which
Okay.
simply means I don't want to, you know, um, carry anything. But you chose to carry 4 bags. With the mindset why you are carrying it, like, oh, it's going to help me with it. Because these are stuff that ladies do. You just assume it's going to do it. And if it doesn't do it, then it becomes a problem. So, but why we are on the topic of act of service,
Okay.
fine, you've done what you want to do. You've carried the 10 bags you want to carry. Me coming in to help now as the hero of the day, savior of the day, than men that we are. I'll come in and collect the bags and carry them for you, which makes it becomes an act of service.
Yeah.
You need to, maybe you're at work, you need to do something, you don't have enough time to do it. Then you give me a call, can you please run this errand for me?
Yeah.
Then I run the errand for you. It's an act of some ladies find this attractive in men.
Sure.
So that's why it's one of the five general
Sorry
love
to interrupt you. There was
languages.
something you said. You're like, you guys were leaving home and she's carrying like three, four bags and you're light. I think you should have found out, like, okay, ask, why are you carrying these bags? Let's say, for example, if you guys are going on a date and she's carrying a small bag, maybe she's very huge. She will have to put her slippers in the bag. Of course, she will have to be sexy and romantic for you, good looking, which is very mandatory. So if she's doing all that for you to please you, in return, you should also be a gentleman and be more romantic. So you shouldn't just like say you don't have to help her to carry the bag.
Yes, I don't have to.
How?
I I I just will. I don't know
Okay.
if it make any sense. I don't have to. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to have to do it because that is why I'm a partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aha. So what I'm saying in essence is saying that I don't have to, I don't this doesn't mean I'm pulling my masculine ego or something. It's just like it's part of respect between couples. You know, like okay, it doesn't have to. And if we have mindset of like this person doesn't have to do this thing for me, but he did it anyway. She doesn't have to do this for me, but she did it anyway. It makes us have b- makes us being appreciative towards our partner. Makes us to acknowledge their effort. But if we have the mindset that he must do, she must do it, we don't see it as big deal. It won't become. We won't see it as an act of service anymore. Before you can consider something an act of service, that means you appreciate the effort.
Definitely.
But if you don't see it as a normal thing, no biggie, then you won't even notice it's an act of service. Do you know how many guys, how many husband, boyfriend, putting in so much effort to please their woman, and still the woman never recognizes it? Why? They won't appreciate it because they never see it as an act of service. They see it as a normal thing. Oh, you are the man. You are supposed to do this as the man. So, in a nutshell, uh, for an activity to be seen and recognized as an act of service, that means it has to be appreciated by the partner, by the receiving
Yeah,
partner.
definitely.
Only then the receiving partner can see it as an act of service. Hence, it's a wasted effort. You've never seen men take a lady to the market, buy stuff, still take her, return her back home, um, pack the stuff from the boots, put it in her kitchen, clean her home, do plumber, do electrician, do painter, and still nothing for him.
In what excess? Like the thank you, or like nothing. Is it food? Nothing for him,
What's the
or
man doing everything for? Is he doing it for you to say thank you?
but aside
He's doing
receiving
it
it,
because he wanted something. He probably wanted the woman to become to profess love for him. That's why he's engaged himself in that act of service, doing those services for her. But the woman, you've not seen the situation where women put men's name, save men's number on their phone as Oga Mechanic or
uh,
food or
then
all this stuff. This stuff happen, right?
it happens anyway, but not just in a serious.
Yeah. So what makes it serious now is why we are saying it like it's been recognized first by the receiving party, then it becomes an act of service. I'm a guy now. I'm going out with a lady. She comes to my house, she cook, she do my laundry, she clean the house, even when we are not married.
Yeah.
That's an act of service.
So how would you appreciate that kind of person?
By reciprocating the same act of service, by not making her to feel like she's a slave or something. There should be a place that I should be useful for her too. Maybe let's say we are both students now, maybe doing some assignment for her, maybe she sends some clothes for laundry now to the laundry man. I should be able to pick them up. There should be reciprocity in what we are doing. You offer an act of service, I should be able to reciprocate with same act of service or some other set of services. What we are saying in essence is some of us as individual see those things as a love language. It makes us to see like, oh, this person love me. That is why he is doing this stuff. If to someone who doesn't recognize it, especially now that ladies are saying men has come, men has come. So which means irrespective of what that man do, it's not ever going to be recognized as an act of service because they will be doing, he's just doing it because he wants to get under my skirts. So at that point in time, what that man is doing is not an act of service. It's an act of service from the man, but it's not recognized as one from the lady.
But do you know the man can still do all this for me? Let's say we go to the market, you pick things from the booth and all that, and I will still tell you thank you, but that thank you probably is not from my heart. So
Because
how would you now feel like to you? You might feel like I really appreciate what you did.
yeah, because
But in me, I'm just doing it like just to please you to make you feel good.
that shows that is not your own love language. You get it now? It's not your own love language. So irrespective of whatever service I render, if act of service takes 5% out of 100 of your own love languages, then it's not your love language. It's as simple as that. You don't recognize it as one. That's it. So the same thing applies to the guy. If she likes, she should wash the wall, wash everything, wash the ceiling. If act of service is not my love language, then I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to see it. I might say thank you, might just be tongue thank you. You understand? So now that shows like that is not my love language. And generally for men, that act of service holds a high percentage in our love languages. For you to be able to do this, do that, tidy the house, do this, blah blah blah. We take it a long way. It's why we hear the word what did they say? Wife material.
They also have husband material too.
Now, wife material is tagged to she being able to cook, clean the house, be humble, and this and that. Yeah.
And satisfy you in bed too.
Well, we wouldn't know that already, but the first signs we'd see is that the physical ones. Now, but for the guy, his own husband material, 1,000 yard, is only the next love language we are going to mention,
Okay.
which is what? Which is gifting. That's another love language. That's the love language that makes a man husband material, 1,000,000 yard.
Not just that. I disagree with you. Not just that. Don't go that direction. It's not true.
It is true. It is
Not-
basically true. Giving gifts as love language to a lady holds a higher percentage. Well, we can argue it to another love language of quality time. No. Or we can put them both on the same percentage. Giving gifts as a love language on its own. I've had
Just tell us what to hear. It's not about laughing. Like, let's hear it. Just tell us.
Let me laugh small now because what I'm about to say,
Because this kind of laugh now.
what I'm about to say, what I'm
Okay.
about to say, that I'm going to say it anyways.
All right.
Because for me, I'm saying like I want to say something now. I know listeners are already like, okay, we want to hear.
Yeah, they're so eager to hear.
The person involved is going to hear also, I'm sure, and is going to chat me up immediately she hears. You know, someone tried to break up with me simply because I do not gift for a particular occasion. Why? Because gifting is our love language. She's going to break up just because there's no gift for a certain occasion. I understand the importance of gifting in a relationship or in marriage in whatever. And you know, I don't see the need to. Uh, and it's what happened when, like, we're talking about intimacy in the last episode.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we get too comfortable in the relationship, then we let all these things slide, then the spark tend to not sparkling. So we get comfortable in the relationship, then we forget also like gifting is actually good. It's something. It's a love language that we need to take note of. And the issue is if we are still cutting dating, and you happen to be dating somebody who receiving gifts is his or her love language, then they don't see you as you love them because you are not speaking the language that they understand.
That's true. But for someone to actually break up because of a make gift, that means that is the main reason why she's just there.
Well, we won't say main reason. We just still stay under the love languages. Like that's the person's love language. That's the language they understand. And come to think of it, it might not be some that big gift.
Irrespective of the gift, a gift is a gift. Like no matter, even if you give me like say 10 dirhams, and I had such person then, like if you might just say, okay, let me load your cards. To me, it's something huge. You
Yeah.
understand? Like this is what he has, and he's offering it from his heart to say, oh, let me load your card, 10 dirham, 20 dirhams, thereabout. And whenever he has, he can even give to like 500 dirhams, 1,000.
Yeah.
You can see that. So we've gotten to that stage where he can even say, okay, take 1,000 dirhams. You understand? So it's not like no matter, I feel no matter what it is, and somebody says, okay, take this, and you should take it. It's just a gift.
Yeah.
And also, you should also reciprocate. Try and get him something as well. Irrespective of how small he might be, a big person, you might feel like, this guy is rich, and what can I gift him?
Well,
I'm
ladies
actually trying to
always
say, that's secular, but that's
ladies always have problem when it comes to gifting guys now. That's why you always buy boxers and singlets.
It's still something.
Yes, it's
At least it's not handkerchief.
It's something. It's regular something. We are tired now. On behalf of the men collectively,
You're even seeing.
I am telling us that we are tired of the shirts, the boxer, the singlet,
So what
the
do you want?
underwears. Come on,
What do you
you
want?
to buy
A land.
buy
A
a car
house in
now,
Dubai, right?
buy land now,
Oh, goodness.
buy. There are so many things you can buy now. Buy phones now, buy gadgets. Guys, we love gadgets.
If you're
now.
actually giving me a land or a house, a mansion, a duplex in JVC Marina, why not? I'll reciprocate. But
You
you can't be
reciprocate
giving
by gifting,
even more.
gifting
Abi.
maybe
Yeah.
in Ajma.
It's still something. There are some powerful places in Najima. Like I get you a company where they produce alcohol.
It's
There
still,
is something.
it's still the same thing now.
Yeah.
So it's basically like, okay, then the person's love language is gifting or receiving gifts. It comes down to how individual perceive love, how we understand it, what language do our own love life speaks. Now we've talked about act of service. We've talked about receiving gifts, and we try to compare it to quality time. And to some of us, it's just quality. For me as a person, it's that time. Like I'm always busy, round the clock, I'm always busy. So when I'm with you, I want that time. You know, I want that quality time. And part of my own quality time is like, irrespective of whatever it is we want to talk about, I'll appreciate some silence too. We can just sit, see a movie, talk about few stuff, you know, have some silence, just trying to have that thing that you don't experience outside world. And that was what I was talking about in when we were talking about what was it that we were talking about? We were talking about communication
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I was saying like, okay, you know, ladies, we understand you want to talk and all and this and that. You've had the entire week and you want to come back home and download everything. For guys, it's different. It's different.
I've actually seen guys that talk even more than the women.
It
You understand?
happens.
Yeah.
But
I've
what you
seen
will look at
that
is,
talks too much. Like they can't even comport themselves. You'll be so irritated. But
yeah,
it's not all about the women. Personally, I don't even like to talk too much. Yeah.
she doesn't want me to attack the women. Well, we are just basing it on some general
General terms.
statistics
Yeah.
here. So, but well, it still comes down to the quality time that you want to have. We will talk, we will even gossip and do all manners of stuff. It's still part of the time, each minute and hour allocated randomly, not like you are going to say, okay, we are spending one day together and from 10 to 5, we are going to talk. No,
Of
it
course,
happens
of
randomly.
course,
So we
yeah.
just need to, when you are with someone, you understand what their love language is. This person, okay, likes some quality time, wants to spend time together. And when we are together, I want that time to be about us. Let's talk about us. Let's build something and enjoy the moment. Let's not say stuff or react to some stuff that is going to spoil that time that we want to spend with each other. You understand? So it's the time, it just have to be quality, and that's from the perspective of a man. Understand from the perspective of a woman too. Like at that point in time, they don't want your phone to be ringing. They don't want you to walk even at that point in time. Look like you're with me now, and your phone is ringing for work and stuff like that. No,
But that work is also very important.
it is
If you don't
important,
work,
but
how are we going to eat?
ladies just understand, but it doesn't mean they accept it. No, these are stuff that spoil the quality time that you want to spend with each other, and that's why they will say, okay, that work. If anything happens to you today, are they not going to? But 1 week, they will put vacancy on the unclassified.
That's true, but me, I would even prefer it to work and even in my presence than probably on a call with some other person.
Why? Because you are still fighting for your quality time. You want this
Yeah.
time like this is my time, and you want to have that time as your time. It's just what we are saying. Then here comes words of affirmation as another love language. The fourth one now, the words of affirmation. Where you profess love to each other, and some of us are very bad in that angle. You know, that's why in some events they will say, "Men, when last have you tell your wife I love you?" Even me, I don't even remember.
Really? Oh my God.
Men, we are our love language is sadly not mentioned in the 5 love languages, the general ones. You see, men's love language, men, energetic men of valor,
Hmm.
you know, excellent men, as they call it in
Oh,
church,
yeah.
original men, real men, as they call it
Yeah.
outside,
Okay.
men, actual men. Our love language is provided for our family.
Okay. Which is mandatory anyway.
You see,
Part of it.
you see,
Like the Bible
that's
says, a
why
man who cannot feed his family is worse
she's
than
going
an
there again.
infidel.
She's going there
Yeah,
again.
I think I quoted the scripture last time.
She's going
so
there again. See,
It is mandatory. It's not even optional.
that is the problem. And that is why women never appreciate their man bringing food to them because they already see it as it is your job to do it. So it's not part of what they are going to consider as an act of service.
Not really.
It
Not
is
really.
really,
Not really.
see,
We still appreciate it.
unknowing.
We still, in as
You
much
see,
as I've not gotten to that level
you see the
anymore, I
word,
know.
you see the word she's using now. Still,
Yeah, we still do.
still. And it's a big deal for the man. You know how much effort men put into making sure there is providence. Fine, it is God who provides. But, but the effort that men, go out there, climb the tree, climb the pole, power circuit, deep hand in some holes, go into the canals, dig well, do this heavy stuff, count money in the bank, do all this stuff. I'm not going there tonight, but I'll just mention it. It's why women say, okay, there is pay disparity between men and women and stuff like that because there are so many effort that men put into this stuff. There are so many jobs that men will gladly take up that women will never near them. And I respect the fact that some women now, even before now,
They still provide for the family.
they do provide for the family.
There are still men who sit down and wait, and the wife
There are
wait, and they don't
useless
even-
men. Just say it. There are rubbish men.
Oh my
I
god, they're rubbish.
understand. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can be a condition, maybe somebody losing his job.
Forget
or something,
condition.
so-
There are men who are all fine and they still never they do all this. I understand that. But now generally we are just saying, like you said, supposed to, it's mandatory for him to, but it is we feel see men we derive joy and energy from being able to provide for our family. Psychologically, it keeps us moving. You understand? Now, to top it all, your wife, your fiancé, your lover, your partner now appreciate it as a big deal. Ka. You understand what I mean?
It will make you to do more like it.
You
It will
get-
ginger
you get the
like,
vibe,
I
yeah?
get it very well.
Uh-huh. So, unlike you just see it as normal thing for me to do. And okay, it's normal thing for me to do. Okay. Share me that I born picking. I don't know that I have to pay for the child school fees. So that's what we are saying.
Yeah. That appreciation is actually very important, irrespective of, will I call it the length or the size of whatever. So it's really mandatory. Anything someone does for you, let alone maybe your fiancé, your wife, your husband, whoever it is, at least that appreciation like goes a long way, like you said. Like that's the part the men likes to,
Yeah,
being
it's the part.
respected
It's
and
the part that
appreciated. Yeah.
you fuel the engine now.
Yeah.
You grease the engine. That's why there is the assertion that says more grease to your elbow.
Yeah.
So so we've talked about
Yeah, the fourth one.
words
So
of
the fifth one.
affirmation, and then we didn't really talk more about the words of affirmation. No, there is. I used to see some clips. Some of us men we are actually rigid. We are too stiff. I have friends and all, and they tell me like, "Oh, hey bro, you are just too stiff." I know myself. Me myself. I know that I'm stiff. And it's too late for me to be on stiff.
It's not late. You're
It's
still a very young man, so it's not late.
Yeah, I'm young. I'm not that young. I look very young. I'm still 26 years old.
You're still very young.
So, the words of affirmation, and that's why I love my language, so well. The Yoruba language, the way they are, olólùfẹ́ mi, àwọn ẹ̀yin fúnjì owó, ẹ̀yin mẹ́nugun, àpọ́nbẹ́pọ̀ rẹ̀, ìbàdí àràn, adúmáadán. There are words of affirmation as love language, that you can say, and there's this popular Igbo one too. I see the clips and I'm trying to remember that song.
Odogu.
No, is it Odogu they call? Maybe I remember later. No, where they'll be, giving some strong words for the man and singing praises for the man. These things are actually important too.
Yes.
It's language, and some people see it as love language. Ladies feel like, oh, if you see her whenever he's talking to me, the way
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge my presence
Yeah.
verbally and stuffs like that. So individual have their own love language. Now that's words of affirmation, that's quality time, that's giving gifts, and that is act of service. And to the fifth one, where you have been waiting for
Yeah, I've
intentionally,
been longing for
I
this. Like,
intentionally, I intentionally
put it on the last,
throw it
right?
last.
All right.
Intentionally throw it last.
And which is physical touch. Let me help you pronounce. Maybe it's so difficult for you to pronounce. I could see how heavy it has been.
How can physical touch be heavy for me to pronounce?
Okay.
Do you know what my hands have done?
That's true. You have a point. I agree with you.
You can't even begin to imagine what my hands have done. My hands have praised God.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So let me put it that way. Aha. She will say I'm shying away from it again. So now the physical touch, it's an area that we need to be very, very careful when actually I understand we want to go vulgar and all. But if we are being serious and we actually mean business, we know we have to be very careful about it because it's the one part of thing that always leads to crisis in broken relationship is the physical touch. And when we are talking about physical touch, we are not just talking about holding that. We are talking about kissing, romance, having sex, cuddling, spooning, whatever it is you want to, call it. It's the physical touch that we are talking about. So we are not just talking about we are going, we just hug each other. No. So we notice like there is lower percentage of breakups without sex that's actually hurtful, like the one with sex. Yeah. You want me to prove it to you?
Go ahead to prove it, then I'll come in later.
Okay. If you are with someone you are dating, there is no sex involved, and the person woke up one day and say, "Okay, I'm no longer interested." It's easier to heal from that and move on because you feel like, oh, you have nothing to lose. For the woman, it's difficult for the man in that respect because the man will feel like, man, I've spent so much money and I've never touched this lady. I've never even have a bite. I've never even do anything. So on the man's part, because the man has performed the four acts of service other than physical touch. So the physical touch is very, very important for the man. And here comes it's missing. So the man will feel hurt, feel like he's lost some stuff. Because had they been the man has had some physical touch, had sex, romance, kiss, whatever he wants to do, you feel accomplished, like, okay, maybe at least I got something from it. Depending on the man's motive now. But for the woman, this is how I just say it. For the woman, if she never gives sex in that relationship, long or short, she'll be somewhat happy a little bit as a consolation for her. These are psychological things. As a consolation for her, like, okay, at least somewhat, because one of the mistake women made is they see sex as what they are offering.
No.
Calm down. Calm down.
I'm trying to be calm, but I just hope I can still be
Well, you
calm.
don't have to be calm. I don't even want you to be calm. Women see sex as what they can offer in the relationship. 7 out of 10. It's the assertion, is where the assertion, what the women bring to the table comes from.
No, I actually disagree on this particular one because when you talk about, like, say, I'm having an intimacy with someone. Okay, let's say the love, whatever, love language and physical touch. Sorry, physical touch is involved. It's not necessarily be like this is what I can bring to the table. Okay, let's even leave sex aside. Most times you might not even have sex in the relationship or whatever, but the physical touch like that, kissing, calling can come up. And if a woman loves a man, even if the man is not making move, you want to.
What are we kissing, touching, cuddling? What are we doing? What are we doing? So I'm going to be in a room with a woman and we are going to be just kissing,
Yeah, it
cuddling.
happens. I'm speaking from experience. It has happened.
That's
to
why I
me.
said for a woman, you know, from the man's perspective is completely different.
Some men too, they do adjust to that.
We
There are
are
some men
only
you even be
playing
with for
along.
months.
You tell us now that, oh yeah, come and do and see if we are going to do or not.
You don't even have to tell him. Maybe by the time he sees, okay.
See,
So I've seen men who are
no,
disciplined actually,
leave that. See, me, leave that one.
but you can't generalize it. Don't
Oh,
just generalize.
I'm going to generalize it.
No.
No, for a man that understands the word no, no means no. We are in the room. We are performing all sorts of physical touches.
Okay, they're performing. They perform.
It's performance now.
Oh goodness.
We are performing. It's an action now. We are doing it now. We are
Okay.
smooshing, kissing, do whatever, do all the physical touch part, yeah. And you are telling me that is all I want. I don't want to have sex.
I don't even need to tell you most times.
All the things that you count down now that you are talking about is a means to an end. When am I going to get to the end? I will just be satisfied on the means.
It's possible for you to
The
be
only
satisfied.
reason that is possible is because you say no. You don't want it. And I so much love, like, okay, if you don't want it, okay, I can keep her, I can keep on keeping her. But yeah, who tells you I'm not going elsewhere to finish the ending and still come back to you because why? Okay, you are the one I love and you are the one I want to be with. Yeah, fine. And here comes why women, we tend to throw it like, okay, for him not to go outside and do whatever he wants to do. Okay, let us be doing it small. From small, it gradually come big.
But no matter how you even deal with him, if he still wants to go outside, he will still do that. So if you like give him cow leg,
that is where
that
is the angle where you can ask, come in and say
no, but you know why I said that? Sorry to interrupt, because I've seen people actually who were in a relationship, who were doing everything, but they still kept themselves to probably even 2-3 years or 6 months, depending.
It is possible.
It's not possible.
It is possible.
Okay, yeah, very possible.
What I'm saying, the only thing that will make it possible is setting up a boundary on the physical touch part.
But it must happen no matter how spiritual.
Then it has to happen. The level of physical touch had to happen.
It might be just minor ones, not like going that deep, but definitely I feel it
outside the door, not behind closed doors. Not behind closed doors. That physical touch.
It's not possible outside the door.
Oh, of course, there are PDAs now. There are PDA. Fine, it might not be, it's not allowed here where we are. But people still do it. I've seen people around cuddle, peg, keys, do whatever it is they want to do. But what I'm saying is, it will just be PDA. But behind closed door, me and a woman, Abba now, come on now. When it's not like there is no electrocution in my body again. It's true now. It's a raw fact. What are we doing behind closed door? It's like catching your partner with another person. So you're trying to say
that all physical touch must lead to.
Okay, look at this scenario. You catch your partner with somebody behind closed door. And it tells you, we did not do anything. Are you ever going to believe that?
It depends.
It
depends. It's like seeing somebody coming out from a hotel where you feel like maybe they did something. In some circumstances, nothing ever happened.
I'm not talking about
that's still the same hotel. Closed door, like somebody even coming out from a hotel room.
I go to hotel every time.
and you'll be with someone in the hotel
I
room.
have meetings.
That is the same thing we are talking about too.
No, it's different.
What
This
makes it
one,
different?
you let's say your house now,
Okay.
or you go on visiting and you met another woman there. Probably you've been outside knocking, or probably you've been hearing some strange noise. Or let's even raise it.
Okay.
You have a key, you go in yourself, and you saw some shoes
Outside.
that is not properly arranged.
Okay.
One leg is here, another leg is there. And you don't even go to the room. You were sitting and they both come out. And they tell you, nothing happened. You went to pray.
Aside
you were
this
just
prayer
talking.
as an instance, it's still possible that both of them will be inside and not naturally happen. Unless, let's say, for example,
I'm not
you
saying
caught
if it
them.
happens or not. I'm saying, what will you think? What will your instincts
If I had
say?
made them coming out from the room, maybe sweating or half naked, of course.
Forget
but
Africa. I already tell you one shoe is here, one shoe is there.
someone can kick it mistakenly.
There is another bag, maybe some brazier.
Hey, this is where you're talking. Now,
It's
these are
still
the
what I'm
proofs.
saying. It's not proof
If
or
it
not.
just shoe, then I shouldn't just conclude because of a mission. But when you're talking about boxers,
Yeah, and they are
brazier,
inside. But they didn't do anything. They were just romancing. They were just doing physical touch. Abi?
that one is beyond physical touch. It's beyond it. It's beyond
So
physical
you,
touch.
and you
So
like,
I don't have to pretend you're cover up for my.
that is what we are saying. So behind closed doors, there is nothing like we are just cuddling, we are just smushing. No.
That was why I use myself as an instance. Like it has happened to me and nothing actually happened.
It's
So,
you that you know that it has happened to you. If me, I see you in that scenario, there is nothing you can tell me.
oh my goodness.
That is the raw fact. So, and if I happens to be the man that you are performing the performance with, and at that level, nothing, of course, something is already happening. There is no sex. There won't be any sex. It's just because you said no, you don't want sex. And in that situation, do you want to tell me you are not checking the man if he's complete or not?
Definitely, you will see.
Oh, you're already doing findings and creating some fantasy. And you're telling me you're going to be there for like 20, 30, 1 hour, 2 hours, and nothing will happen. The reality is, at that point in time, and you are doing your electrocution, circulation, whatever action that you are doing, and the man, the engine room is not arising and shining, what is going to be going on inside your brain? Are you not going to be filled with so many thoughts like, what is wrong? Is this one okay like this? These are reasons for the physical touch. And if you really want to say it as it is simply sexual performance. If a man's love language is having sex, then the woman wants to try and satisfy him to speak the same language as him. If a woman's language is simply sex, then the man wants to try and satisfy her.
Then from your illustration, now is it possible to just have a discussion with your partner to say, okay, we can do every other thing, but we cannot. You get what
So
I'm
we
trying to
can
say?
do all the other four.
Yeah, let it just be like
all
an
the
agreement.
other
So no matter the
four-
extent, one will control the other.
We can do all the other four love
Foreplay.
languages.
No, not for languages, like the physical touch. You
And
can
now-
cuddle, you can kiss, you can, but you cannot.
So we can do all other four languages of love.
Okay.
But when it comes to the physical touch, we should negotiate.
To help matter depending. It's not about negotiation, but depending. Let's say both of you are
It's
workers
not
in your
just-
church, as a church person.
You say we should not go to church.
So in case the pastor calls you and asks you,
You are
have
the
you
one
guys had this? You say no, you've not had it. You understand? Like you'll be able to say the truth. You've not really done the do. Like
But you've near the
you
do.
won't be asking that. I don't think it.
Or you
go
just
to-
say, do you do the do or you do not do the do? Then you
Exactly.
say you do not do the do.
Wow.
You want to be comfortable to say. So it's the same thing as doing the do with somebody else and not doing it with you. And you two probably doing the do with somebody else, so that when pastor called the two of you and say, have you do the do? You can easily say, no, we have not do the do.
Maybe what if two of them are like they've
So
never known? Let's say two of them are virgins now. You get, and it's easy. I think it's easier for them to agree. It's okay. They can. They want to do it maybe after their wedding.
Then we are talking about PDA for them, not the physical touch that we are actually talking about. So we are talking about PDA for those sects. They are both virgins. They've never had sex. Good. Prime.
Because I feel no matter, that is why I kept on emphasizing. I'm not trying to generalize it to say everybody would have done it or something, but I'm just saying no matter how, if our spiritual fathers, our mentor, our fathers in faith can tell us the truth, no matter how much they kept themselves, some people would say, okay, they dated for 10 years and they did not do anything. But if it's just for them to be sincere to say, okay, they had this physical touch, of course, at the time, he found himself touching the woman. I just feel like if it didn't happen as in my should, it should not like going to the extent of penetrating or whatever, but at least you'll be moved to do everything and get yourself at a point and deviate.
Let's just call it. Let's just say that one. To me, I still strongly hold that position of that one do not qualify as physical touch. It qualify as intimacy or PDA.
So what's the meaning of PDA?
Public display of affection. Okay. So that's what it simply qualifies. You are going together, you are playing and doing stuff. It's still touching. You are touching.
No one is minor, it's not a big deal.
Oh.
There's something you can always do with a random person, friend or something.
Because that one, there's no the current is not currenting. But the one that the current is current. See, the simple thing is the physical touch is the love language, and it's equally important in the relationship either. But what we are doing now is not to judge if you do it or not. It's just to kind of just talk about it like, okay, this is what it is, and some people tend to have it on a higher percentage of their love language. There's a statistics. There are some not statistics per se. So there is a measurement. Is a measurement we call it? It's too bad. I don't know how to speak English. There is a scale. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. That is used to measure the percentage level of these love languages, the 5 love languages, for you to know which one you value more. Which one you value more out of the 5. And there are a series of questions. Maybe I'm going to drop a link that will help people to kind of check what their love language is actually is, because some people might have a different love language and think they have the other one actually.
That's true.
So there's a survey that you can fill and some questions you will answer that will make you realize, okay, this is my actual love language. I remember when I did mine sometimes ago. I think sometimes ago, I don't remember vividly. And I discover my own love language is actually the one that. Which one?
Providing for your family, right?
Well, that's not part of the love language, anyways. So, out of the 5, that is the word of affirmation, receiving gifts, quality time, then what do you call it? This one that we just finished talking about now, physical touching. Okay. The one that holds higher percentage for me is the quality time.
The one that you like, the silence part of it, right?
Yeah, it's the quality time. And words of affirmation comes second. And the reason why words of course I went back and looked at my responses and all, why words of affirmation comes second is like everybody wants to feel appreciative. Like, when people appreciate you tend to do more for them. Even if it's just colleague at work, you do your normal duty and they tell you simple thank you. you will tend to give more attention to people
That's
who
true.
appreciate your effort than people who just see it as that's your work. You know. So which one come third? If I remember very well, I think I think physical touch come third. Physical touch come third. And say these other ones, they are just there. I think they are like 3% or because I hardly receive gifts. So
No.
now that one even come last safe. So I will encourage also to do the survey and see where we actually lies. Because if they ask me before the survey, like, what do you think your love language is? And they put all the five down, I will I'll probably maybe take physical touch. I'll probably just say like, yeah, physical touch, not knowing it's even come third. Because sometimes we don't actually know what we want. We don't know what we want. And it's part of what we were talking about previously. Like, you know, you you just get into relationship with someone, sometimes with the hope of them um, doing some certain things, and when they tend not to do it, or they're not doing it, but you expect that they are going to do it, and when they don't do it, yes, the problem will start. So we don't actually know what we want, and we get into the relationship peradventure because of the physical appearance. For somebody like me now, I don't have muscle and any pack. You know,
But you have heights.
you see, that's a physical appearance that somebody might consider to try and be with me with. And in the long run, they discover like they actually wanted more than the height. And even the height is not actually what they need. It's not their wants. You know, these things happen because at that point in time, what they see is the height, probably the smile. And
If he's
few
really good
months,
looking, yeah.
yeah, few months into the relationship, then your actual need and wants
We start
that you
manifesting.
naturally expect the person is going to meet up and the person is not meeting up, then you start having problems. That's why relationship will be end in 1 month. 1 month gone, that one long. Now
Yeah, when we actually started this podcast, you say you have 7 love languages. You've only mentioned the 5. So what about the 2?
I've actually not mentioned the seven. We've mentioned five, the
Yeah.
general five. Then I was talking about the other seven
Oh,
that are
okay.
actually, like
Okay.
they are simplified
Okay.
from the seven. I have something here. I'm going to try to read through just to save our time. So I think the first one here is appreciation, and it's where we talk
Yeah,
about
we've mentioned it. Yeah.
the act of
Acts of service.
service.
Yeah.
And I know appreciation will come under words of affirmation. When you give accolades to someone, you're appreciating, you
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge what they do. That's why you sing their praise. Yeah, like so. It says here. What I have here says people who focus on the appreciation love language feel love when their partner give them compliments,
Mm.
praise, and thanks. They appreciate hearing explicitly what their partner likes and admire about them. It's the word of affirmation.
Yeah, we
It's
actually touched it
acknowledge, you
already. Yeah.
acknowledge it then. But if when you say words of affirmation, it's a little bit complex. Compare you to saying appreciation. It's simple. It's basic. It's basic word that everybody understand. Then there's another one, activity. You should know that one already falls under act of service.
Mm-hmm.
And here it says people who focus on the activity love language feel unique and valued when their partner takes an interest in their hobbies and activities and make an effort to enjoy hobbies and interests together. Things that you normally won't do, but for love's sake
Mm-hmm.
you do them, and it's not like you just do them, you enjoy
Doing
doing
them.
them with your partner.
Yeah.
And there is another one that is emotional. This is said those who focus on emotional love language feel love when their partner can connect with them and support them through complex and scary emotion. Being present for the highs and lows in very important is very important for to those with emotional love language. That is not physical touching.
Yeah, it's not
This is something different. This
different
we
from
can
it. Yeah.
call we can say intimacy. You know, it's completely out of the five that we've mentioned. And there are people who appreciate that more. They see you as their go-to person that they can pour out their mind to, they can talk to, support them morally, mentally. No, there are people who actually um, uh, they call them sapiosexual. So for somebody like me, I am, and it comes down to the fourth one here that says intellectual. People who their love language they feel loved when their partner values their intelligence, respect their opinion, and participates in thoughtful discussion and important issues. You know, there are sapiosexual people. They see beyond. They don't care about beauty or money or anything. They just like, oh, this person is intelligent and they are hooked. They're just hooked. You know, it makes them to be emotional about that person, and just like we just need to be careful when our partner see us that way, because then if he happens to be on the receiving end every time, that means we become the bin where all the garbages can be dropped on. And it's actually a language also that can easily friend zone you, especially if you are in love with that person. It can easily, just put you in a friend zone, like, okay, I can tell you everything. You are my brother, you are my sister. Just
Or bestie.
we cannot say bestie because bestie now means something else nowadays. So can just friend zone you like that. It's not, let me touch that place a bit. It's
Which
actually
part?
funny. The bestie part now.
Oh,
It's easier for me now. I can easily boldly tell somebody now that, oh, she's my girlfriend. And it literally means nothing. You are my friend and you are a lady. You are my girlfriend. That doesn't mean we are
yeah,
dating.
definitely.
Yeah. So, but immediately I say you are my bestie, bam.
Because a lot has been going down all these
Aha.
bestie things. Yeah, I
So
agree.
it's now things are changing and things are evolving. So now we've talked about appreciation and emotion, activity, intellectual, and there is another love language here from the seven, financial. You know, say people who they love the partner who is generous with resources. The love language may be expressed through gifting and stuff like that,
Yeah,
buying
we've
stuff.
actually touched that part
Is
too.
financial, which is receiving gifts.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the five that we talk about, the receiving gift, the word is receiving gifts, not giving the gifts.
Okay.
Yeah. So receive. So you have a partner whose love language is receiving gifts. So you will be the one doing the giving. It doesn't matter if they reciprocate or not. She likes gifts. Give her gifts. No. So all this stuff and for the financial too, it's just like you like
Yeah.
somebody that can give me money. Me too, I like somebody that can give me. Who doesn't like somebody that can give them
Everyone
money?
loves it.
Okay, I'm not going there. So, and there is physical and practical. So the physical is um, receive physical affection, hugs, holding hands together, snuggles. They want their partner to show their attraction and initiate loving touch. Mm. And that's the
It's
physical.
almost similar to physical touch, right? Well, don't worry, we're not going there because I can see
No, now
boys.
we know what it means now. We know,
Ah,
no,
goodness.
no. And which comes to the practical part. The practical part is when their partner chip in with everybody, everyday duties and responsibility, they feel cared for, and like when they do the chores and all, which still comes under the act of service. So this words is just like simplify it, like activity, appreciation,
Yeah.
emotional, financial, intellectual, physical, and practical. It kind of simplified the previous five that we mentioned and all. So what we just need to understand is you are with someone, this person have the love language. I'm going to drop the link from where, especially where I get the notes. The notes for the seven love
Yeah.
languages, I got that one from inbetween.org.
Okay.
So I'll put the link also. So it's kind of explain the seven because that in people in the world of people who actually deal with the psychologies and stuff, there is a debate of okay, which one is actually they are going to bank on. Is it the five love languages or the seven love languages? But
Yeah.
for me, whichever one they are still talking about
Yeah,
the
they are
same
just
thing,
related, yeah.
but one is just more
Yeah.
simplified
Than
than
the
the
other,
other.
yeah.
But still, the five too, it's not like it's that hard. But it's just the five just look like some rule book. Uh-huh. But basically, you just need to understand love. Let me see now. You have a man, and his love language is receiving gifts, and you you your own love language is not even receiving gifts, so probably don't even know how to give gifts. What do you think can be? Is there anything that can rectify that?
If my love language is what? Sorry, can you?
If your man's love language is receiving gifts,
Okay.
but your own love language is not receiving gifts, and peradventure you don't even know how to give gifts, it's not your thing. So, do you think there is a remedy in that?
Yeah, there is actually a remedy. If my man is giving me something, he has been gifting me things, and enough, there is no how I wouldn't want to reciprocate, even if he just wants a year on his birthday. There is no how. It's not possible. In as much as it's not the only thing there that I might not be giving as much as he's doing, like as often as he's gifting me.
No. His love language is receiving gifts. You cannot give him one time in a year if his love language is receiving gifts. That means you are
Okay,
not
if his
speaking
love,
his
oh my
language.
goodness, yeah, now I get what you're trying to say. If his love language is receiving gifts, of course, I'll look for a way to, I will not probably displease myself, I'll definitely reciprocate. Like, I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it definitely.
That's
I
not your
will.
thing.
It's not my thing, but when love is involved, I might just find myself even overdoing it. You
And
never
don't
can
you
tell.
think that kind of man is a different man?
He won't be
Everybody
different.
like gifts, but when a man starts making an issue out of it,
Then if it's an issue, then there'll be a problem. I feel it's just something you should let me give to you at my own convenient time.
I
And
would
when
just
I
simply
feel
say this: when a man is laying emphasis on receiving gifts, he's probably not that interested in the woman
all right,
because it's
that's
not
true.
natural for man to be worried about stuff like that. Men, we are naturally not on
They
the
are not
receiving
wired to
end.
be. Yeah, that's true.
So,
You should
it's,
look into it and if it's something
yeah,
you can cope with.
look more,
Yeah.
look deeper. Sorry, guys, I'm not breaking bro code. Look deeper.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
have higher percentage on some other love languages, not receiving gifts. It's not like we don't love receiving gifts. You can buy me Xbox. I will so much love it. Hug you, give you some physical touch you can never aspire or
To inspire.
fantasize or whatever. you know. But that's why you see men appreciate more when they receive things from their partner because it's out of the blue. We never expect it. Don't. Even though you give the gifts, sometimes you would think we don't appreciate it. Maybe probably we don't say anything. We just say, oh, thank you. You expect the feminine thing like "Hey, ja, pa, 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 pa. But just
Yeah.
keep it cool, like, okay, thank you. I love it, I appreciate it, it's good. No, and that's it. We are not used to stuffs like that. We are not wired that way. You know. And it's not a talk for today, anyways. But
Yeah.
men are becoming more emotional than before because the society is forcing men to be. And that's why you see men nowadays, reacting to some things in some certain way that you feel like, what are you doing? Especially now in the age of social media,
Yeah.
men too are trying to do some stuff for the how do they do it for the gram, stuff like that. So I think overall, one thing we should just take from love language is to understand our partner and also use it as a skill to measure if this person is actually the right one for us. Use it as a measure. Even though your scale might be wrong when you are dating, you know, maybe when you are dating a man now, his income when you are dating is 1 million naira. And when you get married, the income drops to 500,000 or increase to 10 million naira. I expect the same behavior from the same man. For man, um, it's why they say, okay, when man don't have money, the behavior is not the real behavior. When they have money, the real behavior
Yeah, his
come
true
out.
color.
His true color come out. Well, for me, I don't actually agree though, but it's the general thing. I think there are some more psychological effects to that because when a man loves a woman, he will do anything
Yeah, that's true.
to satisfy that woman. As long as that woman wants it, he will do anything. You know, there's nothing like how he's changed his this. If your man change, then I think the first ideal thing for a woman to do is to check herself. Is there anything I do that makes the man to change? You need to be convinced within yourself that you didn't do anything that warrant the man to change. I think that's another thing for another day because it's actually more deeper than that. I have an epiphany, not an epiphany anyway, like a discussion with someone in the course of the week that leads to that angle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for spending the time today, at least to the end, and trying to catch up on what we've been talking about, which are the love
Love language.
languages.
Yeah.
So